next presentation of the day on how Golden Quadrilaterals expressways are changing the logistics landscape in India. And now, let me introduce you to our speaker, Dr. Edampally Madhu. He's the Senior Principal Scientist, Transportation Planning and Environment Division from Central Road Research Institute. Welcome, Dr. Madhu. I would request all the delegates to keep posting their questions in the chat box at the end of the session. Over to you, Dr. Madhu.
Good afternoon to all. First of all, I would like to thank organizers, IA, MAI, and the conference on logistics technical conference, transforming Indian logistics via technology, for inviting me to deliver this lecture on this topic. The Golden Quadrilateral or expressways are changing the logistics landscape in India. So the topic was given to me. I try to prepare whatever the available material with us, and also did some literature review and try to prepare this presentation. Before going to actual presentation, I would like to introduce my organization first. I came from CSIR CRRI, that is Central Road Research Institute, which is a premier national laboratory established in 1952 and is a constant of CSIR, Council of Scientific and Industrial Research. It is a ISO organization. And CSIR has many laboratories, 38 laboratories. This is the network of CSIR, divided into different clusters: physical science, chemical science, biological science, engineering science, and information science, like that. Out of 38 laboratories, CRRI is one of the laboratories located in New Delhi. So these are our leaders. Prime Minister himself is our president, CSIR, and Honorable Minister of State for S&T is Vice President, and DG, Dr. Shekhar C. Mande, and our director, Professor Satish Chandra, is actually leading CSIR CRRI. What actually CRRI does, here I can give some glimpse only. CRRI plays an important role in roads and road transport sector in the country by establishing standards and specifications through IRC, Indian Roads Congress, which publishes a lot of codes and standards, and also BIS, Bureau of India's Bureau of Standards. So under these organizations, we try to prepare a lot of standards and guidelines so that road professionals can use these standards and implement in the field without any problem. So the mission statement basically is like this: CRRI endeavors to provide techno-economic solutions to the diverse technical problems faced in the area of roads and road transport to the full satisfaction of its esteemed customers through R&D and consultancy services. So as you know that by this time, so our organization basically does the research on road transport and related issues. So we have many different areas, R&D areas, like flexible payments, rigid payments, payment evaluation, geotechnical, transportation planning and environment, traffic engineering and safety, bridges and structural engineering. So I came from, again, transportation planning and environment. My area of interest is traffic engineering and also transportation planning, considering different techniques to model travel demand, fuzzy logic and microscopic traffic simulation and road safety, all those things, my interest, and I used to work in those areas. So just giving a glimpse of about some landmark studies what CRRI has done in the past. CTTS studies have been carried out by our institute in a large scale. CTTS means Comprehensive Traffic and Transportation Studies. It's spread over different cities across the country in different periods. And another landmark study, like you can say road user cost study, which is considered to be a baseline study in order to do the economic evaluation of highways. So this first has been done in 1982 and updation also was done in 2001. And our institute is carrying out a lot of road safety audit studies starting from 2003. And we are keep on doing road safety audits so that we can make the different highways or expressways and other roads more safer. And we have also carried out intelligent transport system based studies like incident detection system and also parking management system, which has been done some pilot implementation in Palika parking in New Delhi. And also one of the major study we carried out is urban road traffic and air pollution in metro cities, which has actually followed a background for preparing national auto fuel policy in 2002. So based on that, government has decided the policy when Bharat 1 has to come in which cities, Bharat 2 stage, Bharat 3 stage, Bharat 4 stage. Like this, it helped in implementation of those norms in the entire country. So whatever I'm presenting up to in the area of traffic and transportation, which I came from. There are so many other major studies have been carried out in other areas like pavements and bridges area. And one more study what we have carried out, studying the Delhi Metro Phase 3 to decide the alignments and other things. And this is another important study, road user cost models for high-speed corridors. That's what the present topic also taken from findings of these studies. Golden Quadrilateral and other high-speed corridors were considered in that. And designing roads for high-altitude areas like Leh-Ladakh areas. And the noise barrier is another important area we carry out. We design noise barriers and we have also patented by developing innovative noise barriers. And sustainable transportation, highway capacity manual for Indian conditions, and also mega city logistics. This is dealing with the urban freight modeling, which is carried out in association with World Bank and other institutes from Netherlands. So this coming to the present lecture on the how Golden Quadrilateral actually changed the logistics scenario. So I would like to focus in this presentation on these topics. Firstly, I will give some brief introduction, and then what is the transport logistics scenario in India and infrastructure development in terms of Golden Quadrilateral and expressway. So what is the impact of these GQ and expressways on logistics? And finally, I will conclude with my remarks in this presentation. So we all know that logistics is the area which can be defined as the science of planning and implementation and controlling the efficient flow. So this flow is basically dealing with the goods only, goods and also storage of goods, services from the point of production to the consumption centers in order to meet the customer requirements. So this is what the entire process which is considered under the logistic area. So it has three major components. As you can see, transportation, storage, distribution. So when you combine all these three, it becomes a logistics area. Now, as I came from a road-related research institute, so I would be mainly dealing with the first component that is related to transportation. So this transportation mainly refers to infrastructures like ports, road, rail, and air. And once again, I would be focusing on the roads here, and I would be focusing on Golden Quadrilateral especially. and then I will bring out my remarks in that area. Storage is basically refers to warehouses, and distribution is mainly deals with the service providers, like freight forwarders, multi-operators, and third-party logistic players. So when you all put together, then this is the entire area of logistics. So if you see this entire process, how the logistics supply chain works. So when you see this figure, so when the raw material has been acquired from the source, then it is transported to the processing unit, and then it will be transported to nearest port, and then accordingly it will be transported to some regional distribution center, and then city distribution center, finally urban cross the facility or storing, and then finally it reaches to the consumer. So this is the process. You can see entire the supply chain from the production to the consumption. So when you see the entire process, you can see the role of transportation, where we can see here between the processing unit to the port, this is going to be the long haul freight movement. And then whereas after reaching to the regional distribution center also, there is going to be transportation involved in this stage also, that is mainly regional level freight movement. And when it comes to city distribution center and then urban facilities, and then finally reaching to consumer, this is we can say that urban freight movement. So in all these stages, we can really see the transportation plays a very major role in the entire supply chain of these logistics. So that's why if you want, if the system has to work efficiently, we have to make this transportation phase also very efficiently to work, so that the entire process of supply chain should work most effective manner and efficient manner. So seeing the how the scenario in our country, you can see from the slide that this logistics sector represent almost 5% of India's GDP, and it employs around 2.2 crore people. And basically, if you consider the entire nation, it handles about 4.6 billion tons of goods each year. That is worth of 9.5 lakh crores. And then if you see the how these loads or these goods have been carried out by different modes, as you can see that trucks and other vehicle handles most movement of these goods. You can see here from this figure, around 71% is basically carried out by the road, which is by the trucks and other modes of the road transport, whereas 17.5% is by rail, and remaining about 11% is by other modes of transport, maybe waterways and airways, and so on. So from this also we can really understand, we can really see that how the road transport plays a major role in this transportation phase of logistics and process, the entire process. So we have to deal with this transportation phase very carefully and in a systematic manner, so that it will give a output in a more efficient manner. When you see the comparison between rail versus road, especially in case of freight, comparing the global scenario with our Indian scenario also, you can see here in US also, road transport dominates in the freight, around 86% road, 14% by rail. In case of China, 88 and 12%. In India, only in between rail and road, the road is actually taking share of 80% and remaining 20% by rail. And over the years, if you see, this rail share basically continuously decreasing because of the lot of factors, maybe the accessibility of the network and other issues because of those things. And then this share is continuously decreasing, and then road is actually taking the place of this entire transportation. So in entire this thing, road infrastructure is going to is the main key, playing the main key role in the logistics sector. From these um, data, we can clearly understand this fact. To understand the road infrastructure in India, how our roads are there in our country, the total is about 58 lakhs roads are there, length of the 50 kilometers. If you see the national highways, it's about 1.14 lakhs. Share is about 2% only. So here you can see that it is 2% of national highways, which carries almost 40% of the traffic actually applied on this 2% of the road network. If you see this 2% also, so when you divide into different categories like uh, less than 2 lane, 2 lane, and 4 lane, and above, if you see here, 4 lane roads under this national highway are about only 23%. So here, once again, the load is going to be more on this 4 lane roads of this 23%. So the 2% of the roads, again, the 4 lane roads are having very minuscule of the entire total network. However, it carries a huge chunk of the traffic, especially goods traffic on these roads. So coming to the other issues, if you can see related to road infrastructure in India, only we have seen that about 20% of the national highway networks is about 4 lane and above. And 1/4 of the rural population does not have access to an all-weather road. And it is also estimated that transport sector alone will require an investment of nearly 35 lakh crores over the next 10 years in order to make uh, the accessibility issues and consider other issues. You can clearly see how our road infrastructure is overloaded because of the inadequate infrastructure and other parameters are causing huge obstructions to the smooth flow of the freight traffic. So from these situations, we are experiencing a lot of issues related to congestion, pollution, accident, and so on. So as some studies have already mentioned, that in our country, average distance traveled is only about 250 to 300 kilometers in one day. When you compare with other developed countries like USA and European Union, it is about 700 to 800 kilometers. And the average speed also, it is very less, about 20 to 30 kilometers. And average days in a month. So in India, the vehicles could travel only 20 days compared to 25 days in developed countries. So this mainly because of poor road conditions and other delays at different places like checkposts and other things. Here, the delays are going to be like a 5% to and a maximum of 25% of the time of the entire total journey is going to be lost in the delays. So that is what the grave picture. So almost 1/4 of the journey is actually losing because of the delays in the total leg of the journey. So if you see the trip expenses also, it increases, these delays increases about 15% because of the delays. What kind of delays? That can be at checkpost or filling of the forms required by different people, or checking of the documents of the vehicle, drivers, and other things by RTOs and police, and also collecting highways, highway tolls and taxes. So apart from that, poor road conditions also causing these delays and increasing the travel time by 25% and also increasing the travel costs also 15%. So because of that, the working conditions of the drivers actually deteriorating, and they try to do the long working hours, long driving hours, and resulting into high stress and fatigue. So it will also lead into road crashes. So to understand more about the present lecture, so let us see on golden quadrilateral characteristics, how golden quadrilateral has been implemented by our government. It was implemented under NHDP, National Highway Development Program. The total length is about 5,846 kilometers. It is actually 4 to 6 laning highway connecting to 4 major cities: Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Calcutta. If you see the figure in the slide, so this is the layout of Golden Quadrilateral Corridor connecting 4 cities: New Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, and Calcutta. So the total cost of the project is about 30,000 crores, and it is completed fully in January 2012. It started around 2000 and then completed in total corridor 2012. So some glimpses, if you can see these figures of the golden quadrilateral, how our infrastructure have been upgraded into 4 lanes and also 6 lanes on these corridors, which has enhanced the speeds and also reduce the travel times. So some of the pictures we can see from 4-lane divided corridors with paved shoulders, and this is also another places you can see some glimpses of the golden quadrilateral. So here also we can see some more glimpses of golden quadrilateral. So expressways also have been constructed in these days, and then we can see that expressways are basically access controlled highways where access is controlled, and it is all the time entrance and exits are provided by ramps only. They are controlled by ramps. So if you see, currently we have about 1,652 expressways operational. Under construction, we have about 7,000 kilometers, and another 11,000 kilometers are planned or proposed for country. So some of the expressways which we have already in our country, this is Greater Noida Expressway, and also this is below our Mumbai Pune Expressways, and also this is Delhi Gurgaon Expressways, like that. So we can clearly see how the expressways have came out and improved the travel conditions in the country. So let us see how these golden quadrilateral has impacted on logistics. So as I mentioned, I actually did some search and based on the experience of CSIR, CRRI studies, and I try to see the impact on transportation stage only, how the impact of golden quadrilateral on the transportation stage of logistics. So for that, I used some case studies. These are the case studies I have gone through, and then I will present some of the findings, how we can understand how golden quadrilateral actually impacted this entire logistic sector. So if you see here, the road network of India related to golden quadrilateral in 2001, it was only 10% finished, and in 2006, actually more around 90% was completed, but fully completed in 2012. So the study actually analyzed the impacts between 2001 to 2006. And then from this, we can see that how the transportation costs actually reduced from 2001 to 2006. So from this figure, we can clearly see that the transportation cost from New Delhi, if a person is traveling from New Delhi, before Golden Quadrilateral, how the transportation cost is situation, and after this right side figures are referring to after the golden quadrilateral, though 90% of the implementation, but we can clearly see how the travel cost actually reduced after implementing the golden quadrilateral. So this is also how the percentage changed the transportation cost when you after the golden quadrilateral, when you compare the travel from Delhi to different parts of the country. So it is showing like 13% change. You can see that 13% has reduced the transportation cost. And even we can see these plants, monopolistic plants, how it changed. The number, you can see the clear increase in number of plants around GQ corridors. So another, basically the finding is from World Bank. They said that within the 0 to 10 kilometers of the GQ, they found increase in the productivity and also the stronger sorting of land incentive industries in that districts located on the golden quadrilateral. And also it helped the economic activities which is nearby the districts and intermediate cities of the golden quadrilateral corridor. So based on CRRI study, some findings I would like to share here. So for that, we mainly see how the speed has increased. So for that, we collected almost 4,500 samples of goods vehicles, LCV, light commercial vehicles, heavy commercial vehicles, and multi-axle commercial vehicle. These are the things I'm going to present. Though we considered all the different vehicle types, but I'm presenting the results with respect to these. First is we observed the speeds, and also we collected travel and cost diaries with the 484 samples. This is based on 1 month data of each person, and value of time surveys also more than 3,000 samples. By doing the surveys, roadside survey, we can see that free speed increased because of the, you can see the pre-GQ and post-GQ increase. We can see 11% and 31% speeds are increased. And distance traveled, we can see that 200 kilometers per day in our highways for different vehicles. And utilization is basically light trucks and heavy trucks are not significant change, but multi-axle trucks increased by 10% because of the conditions of golden quadrilateral, improvement in the golden quadrilateral. So fuel consumption also increased 6% in case of LCV, increased 21% in case of HCV, increased 70% in case of MCV after the golden quadrilateral. Engine oil consumption also decreased. You can see the clear decrease in the post golden quadrilateral. Tire life also increased. Number of kilometers actually with the one tire actually increased for different vehicle types because of the good road conditions of golden quadrilateral. And then operating cost, basically how operating cost increased. We can see that cost of operation rupees per kilometer post golden quadrilateral actually decreased by 22%, whereas MCV we found that 46% decrease. This is the graph how the pre-GQ condition, this is post-GQ condition, how the cost of operation has decreased. And we can say that total road user cost, which once again operation cost and commodity holding cost when you combine, that also we found 11% decrease in case of HCVs and 37% in case of MCVs. We can see that total of about 62 crores per day savings we can find out. And we can say that around 18,000 crores in 1 year can be saved because of the golden quadrilateral corridor. Coming to the concluding remarks, so finally I can say that transportation and infrastructure play a pivotal role in logistics sector. And though logistics sector faces a lot of issues with respect to transportation that has to be addressed properly, and mainly infrastructure is one stage that can be considered, and then we can uplift the entire infrastructure by augmenting the facilities to reduce the ill effects of the transportation. And GQ played a critical role and impacted logistics by increasing economic activities, improving travel condition, and reducing the transportation cost. And there is increasing recognition in India that transportation infrastructure could become serious bottleneck for future economic growth. If you don't address this, it will become a future serious bottleneck. And then collaboration among stakeholders to optimize different policies highly recommended. So for that, the government may have announced a lot of missions in the budget also, mainly dedicated freight corridors, Sagarmala and Bharatmala and Golden Quadrilateral, Jalmarg Vikas project, and the National Infrastructure Pipeline, Udan scheme, and hydrogen energy mission. These are the mainly missions related to transport infrastructure announced by the government. With that, we may expect a change in the infrastructure phase, which can impact further the logistics sector and improve the travel condition, and then generate a lot of savings. So thank you so much for this patiently listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhu. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and be with us for this presentation. I would also like to thank our sponsor, our title partner here, Technologies, powered by partner Pandu Corporation, brought to you by partner Grey Orange, and supported by Logistics Skill Council. We do have other sessions planned for you. We are signing off. Thank you.